It has been a good while, my friends, but it is the music landing zone here. I am finally back for this video talking about Takanaka again today. Saudade. I still don't know how to actually pronounce this, so I'm going to go with Saudade right now. Anyone who knows how to pronounce this for future reference, tell me in the comments. Did I get it? Probably not. Anyway, this is the 1982 album by legendary guitarist, singer, songwriter, composer, bassist, legend Masayoshi Takanaka. This album really sees Takanaka in a transitionary period between his classic period, the one that gets talked about a lot, the one that's known, the one that gets compiled into the All of Me's and such like that, and gets heavy play on his tours and the like from what I see, into the rest of the 1980s, which really will bring out that kind of city pop kind of fusion. And then even later we get more of an American fused 80s sound and some of the very late 80s albums. So yeah, in terms of vibes, I mean, this is a little bit like the previous album in Takanaka's discography. This has a little bit of disco flair to it. It's got that danceability fused in with Takanaka's breezy take on rock and jazz fusion. Amazing guitar playing is always, great bass. Some of the best production, I think, on a Takanaka album thus far. It sounds so good. No issues of muddiness to my ear or anything like that, which could occasionally creep in on some of the earlier records. The vibes are fantastic. I mean, we're back to the beach. We're back to, that sunny, fantastic seaside town, village kind of feeling here on Saudade. So, my history with this album, I mean, like a lot of Takanaka, I first heard and listened to this album in the summer of 2023. Was this an album I gravitated towards when I was first getting into Takanaka? Kind of. It wasn't one of the ones that grabbed me instantly and held me and just absolutely got the massive amount of play, but it was really in that mid area where the whole thing got some play, and then there were a select few songs on here that just absolutely blew me away. So I'd say this did lean more towards being a songs album for me with the hits off of it, very originally, but now, I've listened to the whole thing quite a few times and just love it, love it. So going by quick, track by track, I'm going to try to keep this video going along and somewhat shorter. So A Fair Wind, it's not my all-time favorite Masayoshi Takanaka track, but it's great. This is a really solid opener. It just hits you with the vibe. It's not my favorite Takanaka opener, but, it's really solid. It welcomes you in. Saudade, the track itself, the title track, just is that step above the intro track for me personally. The steel pan kind of sounding instrumentation in this one really adds a delicious flavor and, just a catchy, memorable guitar melody to go along with it. Production is great, like I was saying before. Iona, pronunciation, whatever. Iona, track 3. It's a Takanaka ballad. It is not my favorite Takanaka ballad, but it's still a thumbs up from me. Takanaka's ballads generally don't miss, per se. They do sometimes tend to be on the lower end for me, but that's not always the case. And this one does kind of land technically more in the middle of my opinions for Takanaka. But, I think those of you that are really into the more ballad side of Takanaka, like that's your favorite part, will probably think that this is one of the best on the album. It is really gorgeous. I mean, come on, it's Takanaka. It's going to be gorgeous if he decides to do a ballad. It's just not one of my all-time favorites. Here we go. Saudade, the title track already was a slam dunk for me, but we hit this section here from about Breaking Loose to New York Strut that's just fire, fantastic, fantastic. All the way through, it's pretty much Takanaka on all cylinders. Just great, 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 great stuff. So yeah, Breaking Loose, fun, energetic, just absolutely fantastic. Ride 'em high. Yahoo! I love those. The chanting Yahoos and the bass on that track is really memorable. And yet somehow Ride 'em High isn't even my favorite track on the album, despite being fantastic. Might be my second favorite, I don't know. I'd have to do another video where I specifically think about that. But, I mean, what did you think it was going to be? I'm not going to be a contrarian today. Chill me out. Holy man, this is a fantastic thing. Easily, I guess, I mean, genres are so tricky to define sometimes, but if you're talking about hardcore, more disco-y inspired, disco fusion tracks, this has to be the number one in all of Takanaka's discography for that, and it would rank fairly highly in his whole discography for me as well. Yeah, it is fantastic. I love the vibe. Bass playing is excellent. The guitar is soaring and one of the most memorable he's ever done. The vocals are, of course, a bit simplistic, but I mean, you don't need anything complicated here. It's a chill vibe. It's, just another layer, the vocal layer, the lyrics that add to the theme. Chill me out. What can I say? Fantastic. New York Strut, another fantastic vibe, keeping with this kind of sequence we've got going here. The Forest of My Heart is kind of interesting for being, if my memory serves me correctly now, this album isn't as glued in my memory as some of the other ones, so you can totally disagree with me here, but my memory serves me to say The Forest of My Heart is kind of like a mixed ballad. It's like kind of got some ballady elements, but it also has some fiery stuff, so it's pretty interesting. It's not one that I tend to remember, I think, but it's one that when it comes on, I'm liking it. So maybe I need to let Forest of My Heart marinate in my mind even more going forward, because yeah, I think it's fantastic. Manifestation is a fiery closer. This is one that maybe for some people, you don't really finish the album, for whatever reason that can happen. Do it though, because this track is just an absolute rocker at the end. Thumbs up from me. So yeah, I'm absolutely ecstatic to be talking some Takanaka again here today. And again, this album, Saudade, is really the tail end of this period of Takanaka, even though it was already the 80s here. The 80s would finally influence Takanaka enough on the next album that we really see that city pop fusion style that he developed in the following album, which I'm very excited to talk about that one as well. So yeah, as for an overall rating of this album, man, I went a little bit back and forth. I knew it was going to be on the higher end. This one for me is another step up from the previous album. The previous album grew on me a fair bit with repeated listens. If you watched my last review from however long ago now, 2 months, something like that, it did definitely grow on me. But this one just, I think it nails that kind of sound that the last one was going for. Add some new elements, really refine the old elements of the previous album, improve the production quality to my ear. All these factors, fantastic songwriting, a couple of my favorite Takanaka tracks of all time, and you get what I would consider probably, I'm gonna throw it out there, Saudade. Masayoshi Takanaka, 1982, from me gets a 9 out of 10. An absolutely fantastic score for a fantastic guy in Takanaka. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in Takanaka, music in general, all these kind of things, Japanese fusion, uh, I'm going to be hopefully doing more videos here. I appreciate all the new subscribers I've gotten while not literally doing anything on the channel. That blew my mind. Um, so I really do appreciate any and all of your time, your subscriptions, you know how it goes with YouTube. I am genuinely excited to be back. So, all right, that's probably gonna do it for today. Please tell me about what you think of this album in the comments. Bye. Thank you.